Hey, good morning, friends. Welcome to The Bright Side. I am Pharmacist Ben. Thanks for joining us. Our number today and every day on The Bright Side, 844-236-6010. We love hearing from you. If you have questions, comments, success stories you'd like to share, 844-236-6010 is our number on The Bright Side. We'll be talking to Donna Campbell at the bottom of the hour. Donna is the Mind Whisperer. And we're going to talk about financial health and spirituality and the combination of the two. The number one secret to becoming financially fit is her very interesting video that I saw. That's how I got interested in Donna's work. We'll be talking to Donna at the bottom of the hour. We'll get your calls next segment, 844-236-6010. If you want to purchase longevity products, you know where to go. BrightSideBen.com, PharmacistBen.com, or CriticalHealthNews.com. You can also call 866-735-2470, 866-735-2470. And don't forget to ask about joining the Brightside Ben team. For a one-time $30 fee, you can be in business for yourself. If you're an entrepreneur, if you like the entrepreneur lifestyle, the longevity business opportunity, home-based business opportunity is an ideal way to express your entrepreneurial spirit, to stretch your entrepreneurial wings. It's not easy being an entrepreneur, but it sure is fun and it sure is adventuresome, and it's great to be your own boss. And if you've thought about being in the nutrition business, this is an ideal way to get your feet wet and enter the billion-dollar world of nutrition. The nutritional business is growing every day by leaps and bounds, and the longevity business is growing every day. No surprise there. People are becoming hip to the power of nutrition, and if that sounds interesting to you, if you're intrigued, please call 866-735-2470 or head to brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com and click on the Join the Team link. All right, our number today, 844-236-6010. We'll get your calls in our second segment. Donna Campbell will be with us at the bottom of the hour. Her website, donnacampbell.com. We are talking about dietary fiber and the relationship of dietary fiber to fatty acids, specifically the short-chain fatty acids, the short fatty acids. Fatty acids are the dietary form of fat. Fat comes in three main sizes in foods: short, medium, and long. Fatty acids do. You have different kinds of fats. You have fatty vitamins. You have phytosterols. But the bulk of dietary fat are fatty acids. And they come in three different sizes: short, medium, and long. Most of the time we consider the long-chain fatty acids. We don't really talk too much about the short and medium ones, which is unfortunate because the short and medium ones have lots of medicinal and therapeutic benefits. You probably all heard about MCTs, medium-chain triglycerides. Certainly you've heard about them on this program. I used MCTs when I was working in pediatrics intensive care at University Hospital in Denver when I just graduated pharmacy school. I had a job working as a pharmacist on the peds ICU ward, pediatric ICU and neonatal ICU, and a lot of these babies unfortunately had digestive issues, gallbladder issues and liver issues, and medium-chain triglycerides are very effective forms of fat because they don't require the same kind of processing that long dietary fatty acids do. They're pretty much go to work right away. The body can use them for energy very quickly. This is why athletes like medium-chain triglycerides. I use medium-chain triglycerides in my skincare products because medium-chain triglycerides facilitate transdermal penetration. Medium-chain triglycerides are one of the reasons why coconut oil is such a valuable fat. MCTs. Now, the short-chain fatty acids, or the short fatty acids, those are really fascinating. There's three basic short-chain fatty acids, but one stands out in importance, and that's the one we've been talking about. It's called butyrate, or butyric acid. Butyric acid gives butter its name, butter, butyric acid, and butyric acid is stupendously valuable for the intestine. One of the best ways to get butyric acid is from fiber, from dietary fiber. Dietary fiber comes in two forms: insoluble, which does not dissolve in water or oil. Think celery, those long, wiry strands that run up and down a stalk of celery. Those are forms of insoluble fiber. There's actually a third form of fiber called resistant starch. And we'll talk about that here probably in the next couple of days. But basically, there's insoluble fiber and soluble fiber. Nuts and seeds are good sources of insoluble fiber, particularly flax seeds, which, in addition to being a good source of insoluble fiber, and there's also some soluble fiber in there too. And flax seeds are really packed with various nutrients: micronutrients, macronutrients, phytonutrients. While soluble fiber dissolves in water and creates a bulking effect for foods slowing down their movement, insoluble fiber has the opposite effect, and flax seeds can help speed the transit of foods through the intestine. Flax seeds can speed up the movement of digestive bulk, which makes them very valuable therapeutically for folks who are dealing with constipation. The classic example of a insoluble fiber that's used for constipation is Metamucil. Metamucil is made up of psyllium fiber. Psyllium fiber is derived from the seeds of the plantago plant, which is like a plantain, kind of like a banana-like thing. And psyllium is nowhere near as nutritionally valuable as flax. So if you're using Metamucil, you can save yourself some money, and you can get a lot more nutritional value if you grind up organic flax seeds. You can get organic flax seeds, and I like the yellow ones better than the brown ones. You get more nutrition in the golden, they call them golden or yellow flax seeds. You get them in the bulk section at Whole Foods or at your favorite health food store. It's like, I don't know, $1.50, $2 a pound, something like that. I buy it in 25 kilogram bags personally, but if you don't want to, go all out, you can buy a pound of flax seeds in the bulk section for $2, and it'll last you a couple of months if you use it every day. Way better than Metamucil. You get vitamin E, you get phytonutrients, you get beta-cytosterol, which is great for the prostate and the skin. You get protein. You get all kinds of incredible nutritional value from just plain old flax seeds. Plus, you get support for the intestine. One of the downsides, however, of using insoluble fiber is chelation, mineral chelation. There's phytates that are associated with insoluble fiber. Insoluble fiber on its own has some chelating properties, but there's always going to be a little bit of phytates in with your insoluble fiber. So it's best not to take your insoluble fiber with your nutritional supplements. The phytates and the insoluble and the fiber itself will magnetically pull your minerals out, basically minerals. You probably won't have that much of a problem with the vitamins, but the minerals will stick to the fiber and you may not get as much absorption. There's a little controversy about this. It's not a sure thing, but it's probably just to be sure, it's a good idea to do your flax seeds separately from your mineral supplements. And also because insoluble fiber has speeds the movement of foods through the digestive system and supplements as well. It's possible your intestinal cells may not have enough time to absorb your minerals, as well as perhaps even your other nutrients. So there's no real way to know for sure what you're losing or absorbing, so it's probably best to take your insoluble fiber by itself. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. 844-236-6010 is our number. We're coming back with your phone calls and more good health information on the bright side right after this. We are back on the bright side. I'm Pharmacist Ben. Got lines open for you. 844-236-6010. We'll get to you in just a moment, so hang tight. If you're on hold, Donna Campbell, the Mind Whisperer, will be with us at the bottom of the hour. Her website, Donna Campbell, CampBell.com. We're going to talk about being financially fit. Donna, in addition to being the Mind Whisperer, is also a financial advisor. We're going to talk about the spiritual connection to financial health and financial wealth with Donna Campbell. At the bottom of the hour, we'll get your calls here in just a moment. All right, so I want to just finish up a little bit on this idea about insoluble fiber. Insoluble fiber is found in things like nuts and seeds, vegetables, crunchy vegetables, especially. The crunch is largely the result of the combination of water and insoluble fiber. Insoluble fiber and water, insoluble fiber doesn't dissolve in water, but it can kind of have a reaction with water. It kind of structures the water a little bit. And the combination of insoluble fiber and fluid, we'll say, creates a crunching effect. And when you eat a vegetable that's crunchy, largely that's the result of the insoluble fiber. That crunch is the insoluble fiber. Insoluble fiber is very filling. So if you're eating crunchy vegetables, it's a great way to fill yourself up if you're trying to lose weight or if you want to reduce your calorie intake. Calorie restriction, we know, is associated with better health and longevity. Using insoluble fiber foods first thing saying at the beginning of your meal, well, you'll find that you're filled, you get yourself more satisfied, or your appetite is satisfied much faster. It has a filling effect. You could also make yourself an insoluble fiber drink. If you take insoluble fiber in a liquid on an empty stomach, you'll find that it also has an appetite suppressant effect. And this is really not just good for folks who are trying to lose weight, but it's also great for people who are trying to stabilize their blood sugar. Fiber not only has an appetite suppressant effect, but it also will help you with your blood sugar, particularly flax fiber, which contains omega-3 fats. Flax fiber also contains minerals that can help stabilize your blood sugar, and fiber in general has a blood sugar stabilizing effect. When you eat a food that doesn't have fiber but has a lot of sugar in it, that sugar goes right into your bloodstream. If you eat fiber with your sugar, the sugar is released from the foods much more slowly. So this is why fruits in general, or if you're going to eat sweets, fruits in general are a better way to get your sugar, enjoy your sugar, enjoy the sweet taste, than a processed food. The big problem with the sweets that we eat today, the donuts and the cakes and the pies and the super sweet desserts that we're all enjoying, and breakfast cereals, which are like super sweet desserts, is they don't have a lot of fiber, and so the sugar goes right in your bloodstream. Well, of course, that's the same. The same is true with Mountain Dews and Slurpees and ice cream. And a lot of the sugary foods we eat are problematic, not just because of the sugar, but because you don't get the fiber. And that means the sugar goes into your bloodstream really, really fast, and that's what tends to spike your blood sugar. So if you're going to eat a sugary food, or if you're going to have a dessert, make sure that that sugary food has fiber in it, or make yourself a nice fiber drink. You can make a nice insoluble fiber drink by grinding up a couple teaspoons of flax seeds, and then adding the ground of flax seeds to warm water and drinking it down. It makes a delicious flaxseed beverage. You can add a little honey or stevia in there. Probably stevia if you don't want to do the sugar. You don't want the sweets. Put a little stevia in there, maybe some cinnamon, some clove. It's super delicious. It's filling, and it'll slow down the release of the sugar from your dessert that you have next. You may not even want the dessert, for that matter, because the fiber is so filling. You can do that first thing in the morning. You'll find yourself less hungry for a big breakfast. And it's a great way to start your day if you don't want to eat any breakfast. All right. I'm Pharmacist Ben. 844-236-6010 is our number. Donna Campbell will be with us at the bottom of the hour. DonnaCampbell.com is her website. Let's go to the phones. Say good morning to our friend Elaine. What's up, Elaine? Good morning.
Hey, good morning. I have so many things to talk to you about, but I want to focus on my brother-in-law. He is having shoulder surgery. He fell off of his mountain bike, and he's in Colorado Springs. And he reached out to me for advice, from a physical therapist perspective. And I never want to push anything on people because, you don't want to be pushy, or you don't want to come across as judgmental. So I thought, let me call you, and maybe if you have...
You want me to be pushy? You want me to be pushy for you?
Sure.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
I don't mind being pushy.
Yeah.
I don't mind being a little pushy. Yeah. So a couple things. First of all, before surgery is a golden opportunity to dose yourself with nutrients that will speed up the healing process once you have the surgery. As soon as they cut your skin, as soon as they make put that scalpel into your body, as soon as they carve you up, that's when the healing process begins. So if you're loaded up with nutrients for a couple of weeks before, you'll find you're healing much faster, and you have better results from your surgery. In fact, a lot of problems associated with surgery are due to the fact that we're so starving of nutrients. And that includes, by the way, adhesions, which occur in 80 to 90% of surgical patients, and you don't want that to happen. So using digestive enzymes on an empty stomach is amazingly important. For a couple weeks before, load up with digestive enzymes. Also use digestive enzymes, by the way, are also anti-inflammatory. Also use anti-inflammatory nutrients like vitamin E, vitamin C, beta-cytosterol, and other phytonutrients. Those have anti-inflammatory benefits. And then make sure he's getting enough protein, particularly branched chain amino acids. And you can either get branched chain amino acid supplements, or you can make sure he's doing whey protein, which is a good source of branched chain amino acids. Eggs are also a good source of branched chain amino acids. Then there's the connective tissue building supplements. If it was me, I would be using my collagen recovery complex, which you can get at truthtreatments.com. We don't sell that as a pre-surgical supplement, but it's amazingly valuable for as a pre-surgical supplement because it's got all the micronutrients that turn on collagen production. And in addition to things like copper and vitamin A and zinc and glucosamine, all of which turn on collagen production, and vitamin C, of course. Also, using just the collagen peptides and straight collagen can help. And both are important, straight collagen and collagen peptides. That's what I would be doing. And also probably high hyaluronic acid supplements would help. And then bone broth, of course, good old bone broth. And then let me think if I'm missing anything else here. Probably missing a bunch. Magnesium is also helpful for stimulating collagen production. You could also use eggshell membrane supplements. We put them in our collagen recovery complex, but you can get straight eggshell membrane. And by the way, everything that I just said is good for general connective tissue building strategies. Also, and you probably know all about this, you probably know more about it than I do, body work can help stimulate healing post-surgery. So, getting him encouraging him to go get body work. I'm a big fan of rolfing, but any body work will help stimulate collagen production and the production of connective tissue. Last but most certainly not least, structured water from vegetables and fruits can be helpful too. Structured water helps improve the conductivity of electrical energy, which is important for the healing process. And the best place to get your structured water is from vegetable juices. So I'd be doing lots of vegetable juices if I were he.
Okay. And he yes, thank you. And he has diabetes.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's gonna mess things up, or at least that will impair healing. So if he can keep his blood sugar stable, the best he can use nutrients like chromium, vanadium, selenium, sulfur, alpha lipoic acid, all of which will help him with his blood sugar. But just staying away from the sugar, at least staying away from it while he's healing, because sugar is very inflammatory and will slow down the healing process.
Okay.
All right, Elaine.
Thank you.
Have a great day. Okay, talk to you later. All right, Donna Campbell with us at the bottom of the hour. I'm Pharmacist Ben. We'll be back right after this. Okay, we are back on the bright side. I'm Pharmacist Ben. We're on the air Monday through Friday, 8 to 9 Pacific and 10 to 11 Central Time, and 24/7 on the archive page at benfuchsarchives.com. We have 10 years of archived information and a search engine, thanks to Peter in the UK for setting that up. Also, brightsideben.com. We have a search engine and archives up there as well. And also, you can purchase longevity products at brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, and criticalhealthnews.com. You can also sign up to join the Brightside Ben team off the websites brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, and criticalhealthnews.com. And don't forget to take a look at our Truth Skin Health products at truthtreatments.com, all formulated in my compounding pharmacy for patients on a prescription basis, repurposed as beauty products because health equals beauty. Thus, our 1,600 plus 4- and 5-star reviews, which come in every day. Just this morning, we have 5-star reviews, which I am proud to say. You can check out all our Truth Skin Health products at truthtreatments.com, truthtreatments.com. All right, I'm looking forward to speaking to our guest today. Donna Campbell is the Mind Whisperer, and she's also a financial advisor. Her website is Donna Campbell, that's CAMPBELL.com, DonnaCampbell.com. She is she's a former financial advisor. She's the author of a book called Financially Fit. We're going to talk about the relationship between financial health and well-being and spirituality. Please welcome to the bright side, Donna Campbell. Hey, Donna.
Hi, Ben. Thank you so much for having me on the bright side, and it's a pleasure to be here today.
Yes, it's a pleasure to have you on. I've been diving deep into your work and your videos, and you're doing such great stuff. What exactly is a mind whisperer?
That's a great question. I have an innate ability to help you uncover what is hidden in your deep, deep, deep subconscious and change it to an energy that is in alignment with your thoughts. Because our thoughts create our reality, or so they say. We have over, 60,000 thoughts in a day, and you're only aware of about 10% of them. So what are the other 90% of all of those thoughts doing? Well, it's creating your reality. But in order for that thought to come into existence, you have to give it the proper fuel, just like driving your car. Some cars take diesel, some take gasoline, some are electric, some might run on corn oil, who knows. So you have to put the proper fuel with the thought for it to come into play. So a lot of times what happens is we have depression and anxiety and loneliness and sadness and fear and anger deeply hidden within that 90% that's unknown to us. And that is stopping what you are asking for to come into existence. But when we change that feel, which is an emotion or a feeling, then it all comes into alignment with your inner balance. And then you can start gaining infinite prosperity.
How can you know if by definition they're subconscious? How can you know what they are? How do you know what's in your subconscious?
What I figured out through the last 25 years, because I got to use my own self as my own example first, and now, of course, I have an international practice for the last 11 years doing this exact same process that I put together. And it's through going through the consciousness, asking questions to get back to what is in the subconscious. So first, what is it that you want to change, or what would you like to have better? What happens if you don't have that? What does that feel like? And then we trace it back through the mind, because the mind will always go back to the point of origin when that first energy first got encoded. And those two things may not look like they have a relationship, but your mind made the connection.
So how flexible is the subconscious? Is there a kind of like firmness there that is locked in, or is it completely amenable to conscious work?
It is completely malleable to it. It is fluid. It is flexible, because when an event happens, you saw it from one point of view. Say you saw it from a point of view of frustration. Well, the law of attraction teaches us in every moment, every possibility exists. You only got stuck on one frequency. We have to look at that event from different points of view. And when that happens, we can change the energy in the event. The events itself, they don't change. But the frequency of the event, say happiness, it will shift from frustration to happiness, and you will see everything from a different point of view.
Is wanting to change the subconscious enough? As long as you have access to it, is all you need to do is just want to change? Is that all you need?
Yes, pretty much. And there's three key components that I've learned. You need to have faith, trust, and belief. Because at any time you have a little bit of fear, doubt, or disbelief, it will stop the process. So you do have to have, faith in the process, trust, and belief that it's going to happen, and it will every single time.
Do you think the whole idea, like in Alcoholics Anonymous, where they tell you you're always an addict and you have to do it every day and you've got to work hard at quitting? I'm just using alcoholism as an example, but any negative kinds of behaviors, the idea that you have to keep working at it and it's a project, is because we're not accessing the subconscious and we're trying to work on top of a subconscious problem without changing the subconscious?
Exactly. Because you were doing something, and the doing part is that 10% of the 10% of the consciousness. So, behave this way, do it like this, take this vitamin, do yoga, do meditation. Those are all doing things that we consciously do. They help, absolutely, absolutely. Is it addressing the root of the issue? No, there's something underneath it, so you have to become it. So here's the difference. If I was to use meditation for an example, a lot of us think meditation is sitting around 10 minutes a day, an hour a day, trying to quiet the mind. Some people put their fingers together, lotus position, going, Om.
Right.
But that's something that you are doing. To really embody and embrace meditation, you have to become it. And what I learned from a Zen Buddhist monk was a walking meditation. He had to stand up and walk in a circle, in a group, for like 20 minutes. And then had to sit us back down, and he said, this is a metaphor for life. And it's not just that you're meditating while you're walking, but you need to be in the state of mind with everything that you do, whether it's washing the dishes, cleaning your house, going to work, whatever it is that you are doing, you need to be being in the state of mind. So after that, I moved to an ashram to embody meditation, and I became it.
Is that why mindfulness is so helpful?
Mindfulness is helpful, absolutely, because it's a way to live a state of being. A lot of people approach mindfulness from the conscious perspective, though, rather than the subconscious perspective.
So the way I'm hearing you explain it is mindfulness is when you're like being the dishes or being the doing of the dishes somehow. You're right. Connected with, you're not watching yourself doing the dishes, you're actually being there with the dishes. Is that kind of
right? You're feeling right. Mm-hmm.
And you could do that with your whole life, probably.
Absolutely. You're feeling the water, washing the dishes. You know what the soap feels like. You're mindful of the temperature. You're looking at the plate. You're using all of your senses.
Yeah, in a way we miss our lives in a way. Like our lives go by. We miss all the moments of our lives because we're not in that. We're not being what we're doing. Is that right? Did I say that right?
Right.
Being what we're doing. Hey, all right, Donna. When we come back, I want to talk about how this relates to financial health. We've got Donna Campbell with us, her website, donnacampbell.com. Donna is the Mind Whisperer. We're going to talk about Financially Fit, her Amazon bestseller. Okay, we're back on the bright side. I'm Pharmacist Ben. We're talking to Donna Campbell, her website, donnacampbell.com. Donna is the Mind Whisperer. That was great about mindfulness. I love that idea, being present with your life, being present with everything you're doing. It seems like it makes total sense. What does that got to do with, or how does that relate to financial health?
It relates in every possible way you can conceive. Most people come because they want to have better health, increased wealth, or enhanced relationships, which is really about a life of happiness, prosperity, and love. And I started noticing a correlation when I was working with my clients to what they wanted and needed back in the deep-rooted subconscious to how we look at our money system and our financial system in the world. So clients would start saying things like, I just wanted to know that I was worthy, that I'm enough, that I feel appreciated and I was valued. At the core of it, those were the things they were wanting and needing. And I started looking at the words we used in the financial system. What is your net worth? How much did your portfolio appreciate? What is the value of your assets? Do I have enough money for? And there's a direct correlation because money is the outward energy exchange of who we are on the inside. Without applying that fuel or that energy, money is just money. But when we put in that emotional component, it responds and behaves in how you feel within that deeper part of the subconscious. So if you don't feel like you're enough on the inside, you're not going to ever have enough money on the outside.
Do you think it's maybe that we don't need money, but we just need to feel like we have enough? Like we need to feel somehow like we're secure or safe?
Right. There's a lot of that, but money is a type of outward security, and we feel safe when we have money. So money is that expression on the outside, but really it's a return to your own personal divine essence, knowing who you are, and that everything you need is on the inside of you, including your own happiness. And then when that comes into alignment, that subconscious with your consciousness, then the outside world, which is for us greatly affected by finances and resources, also behaves in alignment with who you are.
How much of our individual financial insecurity is related to the collective financial insecurity that the culture, the society has?
You know, there's quite a bit because we all grow up. Some of it is encoded in our DNA. It's the whole study of epigenetics. If your family had to work hard for money, you're going to have a belief system that I have to work hard for money. In the group conscious culture beliefs, social conditioning, and depending on your environment that you are in, that also influences. And a lot of our energy that we have around money and our thoughts and how we feel about it comes from when we're born and how our parents, our grandparents, our teachers, our siblings interacted with it. And we lived in that environment, so it shaped your reality.
So are we locked into that? I mean, we can't control the collective subconscious mind. We can work on ourselves, but if we're victims of what's going on in the culture or even, like you say, our family history, our genetics, how much flexibility do we really have?
Well, when you shift and change, you are connected to your family and other people through the amount of DNA that you share. So when you shift and change, it shifts on your DNA level, and that percentage within them will start shifting and changing as well. So it's kind of like the 100th monkey. The first monkey starts doing something new, and then the next monkey, and the next monkey, and then that's the next continent over, but they never met. It's the same philosophy. It's really through quantum physics that this happens.
Elaborate on that. What do you mean by quantum? How does quantum physics play into this?
Well, you can take a cell from a liver and put it over in one country, and take another cell from the exact same liver and put it in a different country. You can traumatize one cell, but because of that connection, the other cell responds as if it happened to them, even though you didn't touch it. It's exactly how it works with us as people, because we are connected through our divine essence, through our DNA, through our energy. It's the exact same philosophy, and quantum physics explains all of that.
So practically speaking, somebody comes to you as a therapist or a counselor, however you describe your work, as a mind whisperer, and they're having financial problems. They can't get it together, bills to pay, they're losing their house, et cetera, et cetera. What would you do from a practical standpoint? What are the steps that you would take to help somebody with that?
Well, the first thing that I do is I ask them if I can enter their space, because through physics, time and space doesn't exist. And if I'm in their space, I'm sharing in that energy field with them, and I can sense, feel, and see everything that's going on within their life. And then I can ask the appropriate questions, understand what needs to leave, and then I can ask them what they needed in its place. And because I'm in that space, I can send that frequency, that code, that change to a different vibrational frequency, and it changes inside of them. And it forms a different chemical reaction in the body, and they feel it in the moment that it happens. And then they go through sleep cycles, they go into different brainwave patterns, and that's when the subconscious really repairs the whole physical body. And it happens that fast. If you were to rub an onion on the bottom of your feet, you would taste it in your mouth in a matter of seconds. So that's how fast the energy can shift and change when you have that moment, that aha realization, and you can see your own pattern to why and how it got created. But in every situation, there is always a gift to find. Something good always comes out of it.
I like that. How about what's going on in the world today? Do you think there's the same is true, COVID-wise, and all the stuff that's going on with the economy falling apart and people losing their jobs? Do you think there's a gift there?
There is, absolutely, because we all went through it. It's how you see or the perception of that. For me, yes, my business, my practice was affected. Some things that I had scheduled with different production companies didn't happen. But the gift in that is it gave me the time and space to finish the book financially fit and to publicize it. And now I realize that I'm supposed to take this message from an individual level to a global scale. So it opened up doorways and opportunities. If I didn't have that perception, I probably would have sat around, sat in fear, sat in anger, sat in all of the energies that would, break down and destroy everything that you had built. But I started looking at it from a different point of view. And this is a strategy that was taught to me by a medicine woman. She called it pivot and shift. And so I started doing the same process on myself this last year to get to where I'm at, because there was some gifts in this now.
Say that? I didn't hear what you said. She called it, what did she call it?
She called it a pivot and shift strategy. What she taught me was that if I was in an environment and I didn't like how it felt physically, move. So at the time, I was in a very interesting relationship. The person became abusive. And she said to keep yourself safe, pivot and shift. So if they start to go into these energies like anger, move your body, stand up, get a glass of water, wash your hands, leave the room, leave the building. Because every time you physically moved, it changed the energy of the room. Wow. And I just took that same concept and applied it to how we work with our emotions.
Pivot and shift. So actually move your physical body to change your emotions? Is that what you're saying?
Well, if you physically move your body, it will shift the energy of the room, and the person that's in the other emotion that you don't want to experience will change. They will shift a little bit. They might be less angry. They might be frustrated. They might sit down. They might, whatever it is. It's the
All
same
right.
way with business meetings. Yeah.
Pivot and shift. All right, we got about a minute here. Your book is Financially Fit, Living the Secrets to an Abundant and Prosperous Life. Give us one secret to living an abundant and prosperous life, something that we wouldn't know. That's a secret.
Oh, something that you wouldn't know?
Yeah, that's like a hidden truth.
That the more kindness that you have and the more generosity that you have, the more financial affluence will become into your life.
That's great, because that's counterintuitive. You would think that if you gave, you would have less, but when you give, you get more. Is that kind of what you're saying?
Absolutely, yes. The more kindness
like
and
that.
generous you are, the more that it returns to you.
Well, that's very inspiring, Donna. Donna, I really appreciate it. Financially Fit, Living the Secrets to an Abundant and Prosperous Life. Available on Kindle and Amazon. Website, DonnaCampbell.com. DonnaCampbell.com. CAMPBELL. DonnaCampbell.com. Thanks for being on the bright side, Donna. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Have a great day. All right, the book is Financially Fit, Living the Secrets to an Abundant and Prosperous Life. And check out our website, DonnaCampbell.com, DonnaCampbell.com. And that's all the time we have for today on the bright side. Thanks for listening, friends. I am Pharmacist Ben. Have yourselves a wonderful, beautiful, awesome, spectacular day. We'll talk to you later, folks. Bye for now.